are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So as we know, Cardi B is dropping her Outside record. A lot of fans are hoping that she can score another top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Let me know if you think it's going to go top 10. But not only that, it has been revealed that Cardi B possibly has pushed Partisan Fontaine to the side and was able to get a new ghost writer.
And I love Cardi B. I have no problem with Cardi B. I have no problem with Offset. I have no problem with Stephon Diggs. I have the zero beef with any of these people. I actually just did a record for Cardi B's new album. Yeah, I won't give the details, but I just did something for a new album. But
so let me know how y'all feel about that. So Cameron has a podcast, I believe it's with Mace, and he was talking about Stephon Diddy off the cheat and Cardi B's little situation. And with that being said, he said he did something for her album. Now, is Cameron hot enough to get a feature? Okay? Or is he writing some bars? Some bars for Cardi B, and is Partisan Fontaine fired? Okay, because I think Cameron would be a better ghostwriter, in my opinion, than Partisan Fontaine. And here's my thing. Cardi B has openly admitted that her bars haven't been hitting throughout the years. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, she complained that, you know, when other female rappers like JT, like Bia, you know, they would bring up her husband. Even Akbar V would do it, and she wasn't able to clap back because she didn't have the proper ghostwriter. She was complaining that she didn't have a good enough bar to go after these female rappers.
It was becoming a liability. You know how many weak-ass rap bitches from the biggest lowest? I feel like all they had, because, you know, a bitch can't sub me for nothing. A bitch can't talk shit about me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bad bitch from head to motherfucking toe. Bad bitch from head to toe. I could rap. I do numbers. My kids look cute. I got good jewelry, good cars, property owner. You know what I'm saying? A bitch can diss me or play me in nothing. Bitch can talk about shit about me in nothing. It was all every single time they talk shit about me was because of one thing. When you start becoming a liability and you start to get in between my work, I could even diss these whack bitches. Because every single time I diss them, they always bring up that one fucking thing.
So Cameron is here to save the day. Partisan Fontaine wasn't doing a good enough job going after Akbar, Bia, JT, and Nicki Minaj, and that's why her bars were lacking. But with Cameron, her bars are gonna be up to par. Okay, they won't be lacking no more, even though I still think they probably gonna lack, because I just feel like Cardi B's not a lyricist. Like, nobody takes Cardi B seriously as a rapper, but I think they might slightly improve now that she got Cameron in her corner, possibly writing for her. Okay, so is this a W or L for Cardi B? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Cardi B will be able to make a hit with Cameron, and do you think he will be a good ghostwriter for her? Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Doja is dropping her album, and allegedly, after she drops this album, she will be officially out of her contract with RCA the colorist. Okay? Now, Doja Cat in the past has expressed that she would like to start her own label, go independent, which she'll never be able to do. You know, no shade. Doja Cat will never, ever be able to go fully independent. Sorry, Katie Litters. You know, they might think that, but that ain't gonna happen. But I think she should sign to a different label. I feel like RCA, they only started pushing Doja Cat once she went viral. Remember that Move record? They don't really fully believe in the art. I don't think RCA the colorist is a great label, in my opinion. Even the way they treat SZA, not great. They openly disrespected Tanaje and dropped her. They don't even treat Chris Breezy right over there. So I feel like any artist that wants to get out of their contract with RCA, they should do it and then go to another label. You know, I wouldn't mind if Doja came to Universal. Republic do their artists great. Look what they doing for Kung Fu Kenny. Look what they do for the Tribe Called Racist. Look what they do for The Weeknd. You know, there's a lot of amazing big artists at, you know, Universal. So I think Doja Cat should finish up her contract with RCA the Colorist and go to Republic Universal. Okay? And y'all may say, well, how would Nicki feel about it? You know, I don't know if Nicki would really care. I mean, Koi Fish was there and Koi Fish got dropped. I don't know if Nicki would really care if Doja Cat signs with Republic Universal. I mean, it's a record label. Now, moving on from that, Cardi B teases on her Instagram channel. But what happens when the talk isn't cheap and she's still teasing the crowd? Lets me know that she is planning on throwing shots at female rappers because she keep teasing these crows. You know, some people were saying, oh, crow stands for rebirth. Nothing is rebirthing over at Titanic Records or with Cardi B. This ain't no rebirth. She's trying to insinuate, like I said yesterday, that she's gonna murder these rap bitches. And like I said before, we discussed this earlier, she got a new writer. She got Cameron and her other legendary acts working with her for this next project. Okay, so that lets me know that she is planning on getting her lick back at these female rappers for dissing her when she couldn't defend herself. Okay, now she also teased a possible music video coming out.
Something very special is coming after that. But it's a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret that stays between us and Spotify.
Allegedly is a music video, that cheap ass music video she filmed on a yacht with Stefan Bottom Diggs. That is the surprise, according to some fans. So let me know how y'all feel about it. And do you feel like this record is going to go top 10? A lot of fans are saying that this is going to be another top 10 for Cardi B. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. So, as we know, Megan Thee Stallion, she got her own label. It's called Hot Girl Production. And with that being said, Devil Nation thinks it's a phenomenal idea for Megan to sign upcoming female rappers to her Hot Girl Production label. Now, this would make Megan Thee Stallion look like a girl's girl, that she is supporting, you know, up-and-coming female rappers. But I don't feel like she has the career to do that. I feel like the only person that has the career to do that would be a Nicki Minaj. You know, Lil' Kim, her time has passed for that. You know, she wanted to do that, she would. But every female rapper that got in the game, especially after Lil' Kim, she viewed them as competition until she was washed up and couldn't rap no more. Then she was able to big up Cardi B. But with that being said, I don't think Megan Thee Stallion would last long with other female rappers on her label. I remember when she and Erica Stanks were on the same label on 1501, and they was beefing. Okay, so she couldn't even do it with 1501, and definitely not on Devil Nation. Devil Nation doesn't have currently another female rapper that they're pushing. They're trying to get one, but they don't, and there's a reason behind that. And there's a reason why Gorilla Glue hasn't signed her paperwork with Devil Nation yet. The reason is Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so with that being said, I think it would be a disaster, but it would be fun to watch. Okay, because after a while, she's going to turn on them and start sneak dissing. Just how she sneak dissed Cardi B. Now, moving on to Rihanna and Queen B. Rihanna fans are clowning Queen B because it was announced a few days ago that Queen B had now sold over 65 million album units in her career across the U.S., including 44 million as a soloist. And fans are like, only 44 million. And that Rihanna will eventually outsell her soon. Here's my thing. Rihanna ain't outselling nobody musically. Did you see that trash AI music she put out for the Smurfs? Outselling who? Okay, the only thing she gonna do is get knocked up again. No shade. I like Rihanna. Rihanna's an icon, but that music career is dead and gone. Okay, she's still an icon. She still got legendary, iconic music that are timeless, But with that being said, she's not coming back into music outdoing nobody. She won't be outdoing D0JA. Okay, we just saw that single she put out with the Smurfs. That shit was trash. It was doo-doo. And y'all know it was doo-doo. That's why y'all don't talk about it no more. Okay? But Barbie World at least lasted a whole year. And then on top of that, anytime Billie Eilish or Adele do a song for a soundtrack, it gets an Oscar. Okay? Rihanna ain't getting an Oscar for that shit she just dropped. No shade. I like Rihanna, but y'all gas her up a lot when it comes to the music. And like I said before, I think that Rihanna's an icon. But musically, her heart's not in it. So she can't outdo Beyonce because she can't even outdo the pop stars that are under Beyonce. She can't even outdo SZA right now. Musically, she can't. Now, speaking of Beyonce, a lot of people are talking about the amount of money she grossed on her shows so far on the Cowboy Carter World Tour. So Beyonce grossed $55.7 million in Los Angeles. And then in Chicago, $42.5 million, New Jersey, $70 million. I'm like, why was it more in New Jersey than it was in Los Angeles? In London, $61.5 million, which is a total of $230 million so far for Queen Bee. So congratulations. And let me know if you guys are going to still go see Queen Bee at the Cowboy Carter World Tour. My review, I saw her, is on Patreon. And I think she did a really good job. Queen Bee, she can just perform. And that's all I really have to say. She's a phenomenal performer. Now, moving on from that, according to sources, Champagne Thickums camp had tried to cancel Kung Fu Kenny's tour dates in Toronto in hopes that they could book for OVO Fest. Okay? However, the paperwork for the Rogers Stadium had already been filed, and no other venue in the city could hold the same capacity. So with that being said, there are whispers in the streets that Champagne Thickums behind the scenes was working to try to get his shows canceled. If you guys remember, certain TDE artists had gotten their shows canceled in Canada. I think Sir, and then also Schoolboy Q had issues with booking shows in Canada after the Kung Fu Kenny and Champagne Thickums beef exploded last year. Okay, now this is all alleged, but here's my thing with Champagne Thickums. Nobody is canceling a Kung Fu Kenny concert, especially a stadium concert, for OVO Fest. Come on now, stop. For OVO Fest, the only person that can get Kung Fu Kenny canceled is Camel Face and Queen Bee. Champagne Thickums, you gotta try a little bit harder. Okay? You really should receive 50,000 lashings for this. This is ridiculous. And the thing is, people are saying, well, this ain't true. I believe it. I believe that he is upset about Kung Fu Kenny performing at Toronto, especially the stadium show, something he's never done. He's never done a stadium, still not doing stadiums. I feel like he definitely was trying to get his lick back and cancel it for OVO Fest. But the thing is, you have never done a stadium show for OVO Fest. So why do one now? You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. And I definitely, if I was an owner of a stadium, I'm not canceling Kung Fu Kenny for Champagne Thickums. I'm sorry. Especially if SZA performing too? Absolutely not. Okay? The only person that can get a Kung Fu Kenny show canceled is Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's it. Nobody else can do that. And to be quite honest, the only reason why they would be able to do that is because at the end of the day, Camel Face is a gatekeeper. So that's the only reason why. I don't think anybody would go to see a Camel Face concert ever. But especially now that, he's 60, But with that being said, he is a gatekeeper. That's the only reason why I said he would only be able to do it. Now, Angela Simmons did a interview with, I think, Angie Martinez, and basically she admitted that her and Gotti are done.
I don't believe you have to give it all to show that you're together, but you know, it just felt right. You
were
know,
having
so
fun too. It seemed like you were having
for
fun with it.
sure, for sure. I think it felt right and like the right. It didn't like we both have our own thing going on. It's like cool. Like both these worlds came together. It's cool. Like we can share it.
And you've been quiet lately. Are you guys together still or no?
No,
No,
I'm not with him.
no. Aw.
Yeah, not by choice, but you know, I respect him. It's all love. Like
It's not your choice.
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it. No.
What are you saying to me right now, Angela Simmons?
I'm saying that I'm a lover. I love love. I love relationships. I stand.
This man proclaimed that he wanted to get with Angela Simmons. This man like pursued you. He proclaimed it in front of everybody that he wants Angela Simmons. So you're not telling me that he ended? Did he end the relationship or did?
No, it was my choice. You know, I had to make a decision. But I think there's a certain level of like what I can share and would share publicly. You know what I mean? And I can publicly say that I'm not with him anymore.
Now, a lot of people are wondering, why did Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti break up? Well, if you was on my Patreon, y'all would have known that they had been stopped seeing each other, and I have that reason on Patreon. But Yo Gotti couldn't keep his peen to himself, okay? See, rappers are always going to be rappers and sleep around no matter what. Now, also, Yo Gotti's in that street life, okay? Yo Gotti, you know, he might catch a RICO charge in the next few years. Angela Simmons don't want to get tied up in that. That wouldn't look good. She's Reverend Run's daughter, okay? Who also is an icon in the game. And then also on top of that, you know, there were whispers in the streets that he was messing with Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue, in my opinion, I feel like she purposely messes with men that are in relationships to build up her self-esteem because she is ugly. That's what Gorilla Glue gives. Because that's not the only man that Gorilla Glue has messed with that was in a relationship. I'm not going to go into detail on here, but Gorilla Glue has a history of messing with men that are in relationships or have a girlfriend. And I think with Gorilla Glue, it builds up her self-esteem to do that because she is ugly. No shade. Gorilla Glue is not cute. So when you're ugly, you have to have an ugly trait on the inside, not just on the outside and steal somebody else's man. Okay? But Gorilla Glue should be ashamed of herself. She really should. You never gonna get a man fully for yourself, so you gotta take somebody else's man temporarily because you're not getting claimed. So that's the thing I don't like about Gorilla Glue. But she was besties with Megan Thee Stallion, and as we know, Megan Thee Stallion do not care if you got a girl, do not care if her best friend is seeing somebody, she will sleep with that person's man, okay? So she used to be cool with Megan. Just because they not cool now, they was besties, and you see what a type of person Megan is. So if you would be cool with Megan Thee Stallion, you know birds of a feather flock together. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Tyler Perry and R. Kelly on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.